Stop chasing people. The moment you focus on yourself, everything changes. Have you ever noticed that the more you try to force people to value you, the more invisible you feel? The more you seek approval, the less confident you become. And the more you compare yourself to others, the more disconnected you feel from your own life. That's because peace was never meant to come from outside of you. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood something most people today still struggle to learn. Your power begins the moment your attention returns to yourself. Not in a selfish way. Not in a cold or arrogant way. But in a disciplined, grounded, powerful way. Because when you stop obsessing over who ignored you, who doubted you, who betrayed you, or who is ahead of you, you finally gain the energy to build your own life. And strangely enough, that's when everything starts falling into place. People respect you more. Your mind becomes calmer. Your goals become clearer. Your confidence becomes real. In this video, we're going deep into the Stoic mindset that can completely transform your life. And trust me, by the end of this video, you may never look at your struggles the same way again. So take a deep breath. Stay with me until the end. And if you want more life-changing wisdom like this, subscribe to your channel name and become part of a community focused on strength, clarity, discipline, and inner peace. Let's begin. 1. The biggest distraction in life. Most people never become who they were meant to be. Not because they lack talent. Not because they lack opportunity. But because their focus is constantly stolen. Stolen by comparison. Stolen by approval. Stolen by drama. Stolen by other people's opinions. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But modern life trains people to do the exact opposite. People wake up and immediately check their phones. They measure their worth through likes, messages, and validation. They spend hours watching other people succeed while neglecting their own growth. And little by little, they lose themselves. There's a story about a young man who desperately wanted everyone to admire him. Every decision he made was based on what people would think. He dressed for approval. He spoke for approval. He even changed his dreams to fit what others expected. One day, he visited an old craftsman in his village. The craftsman spent hours each day quietly building beautiful wooden furniture. No audience. No applause. Just focus. The young man asked him, "How do you stay so calm when nobody praises your work?" The old man smiled and said, "When I was young, I wanted people to notice me too. But then I realized something: if you constantly watch the crowd, you can never master your craft." That sentence changed the young man forever. And maybe it can change you too. Because the truth is, every moment you spend obsessing over others is a moment stolen from your own growth. Stoicism teaches us that attention is life. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. If your mind is always trapped in comparison, anxiety grows. If your mind is trapped in resentment, bitterness grows. But if your mind is focused on discipline, purpose, and self-mastery, your entire life changes. The Stoics believe that inner peace is not found by controlling the world. It is found by controlling yourself. And that begins with reclaiming your focus. 2. Why focusing on yourself feels so hard. Let's be honest. Focusing on yourself sounds simple. But in reality, it's difficult. Why? Because humans are emotional creatures. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to feel important. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem begins when your self-worth depends entirely on external validation. That's when your happiness becomes fragile. A Stoic understands something powerful. If someone can control your emotions, they control your life. Imagine a man who spends all day worrying about what people say about him. One insult ruins his mood. One rejection destroys his confidence. One criticism keeps him awake at night. Now imagine another man. He listens carefully. He learns when necessary. But he does not surrender his peace to the opinions of strangers. Who is truly free? There's a story about a woman who constantly compared herself to her friends online. Every photo made her feel behind in life. Someone bought a new car. Someone got married. Someone traveled the world. Meanwhile, she felt stuck. One evening, she turned off her phone and sat quietly for the first time in months. She realized something shocking. She had spent years studying everybody else's life, but had completely neglected her own. That night, she started reading, exercising, learning new skills, and journaling. Slowly, her confidence returned. Not because her life became perfect, but because her attention finally returned home. This is the Stoic path. Not escaping the world, but refusing to let the world control your inner state. When you focus on yourself, you stop reacting emotionally to everything. You stop begging for recognition. You stop explaining yourself to people who misunderstand you. And suddenly, life becomes lighter. Free, the power of silent growth. One of the most powerful things you can do in life is grow silently. Not every goal needs to be announced. Not every plan needs validation. Not every dream needs an audience. The Stoics understood that real strength is often quiet. A tree does not make noise while growing. Yet eventually, its roots become impossible to shake. There was once a boxer who trained before sunrise every morning. While others slept, he ran through empty streets. While others partied, he practiced discipline. Nobody applauded him. Nobody noticed him. For years, people underestimated him. They laughed at his quiet lifestyle. But one day, he entered a championship tournament. And suddenly, everyone was shocked by his strength. What they didn't understand was this. His victory did not begin in the ring. It began in the silent hours nobody saw. That's how transformation works. Most people want visible success without invisible discipline. But Stoicism teaches patience. The process matters more than immediate recognition. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome. One of the most powerful men on earth. Yet he constantly reminded himself to stay humble, disciplined, and focused. He wrote private notes to himself. Not for fame. Not for followers. But for self-improvement. That's real growth. When you focus on yourself, you stop performing for the world. You start building for your future. And eventually, the results speak for themselves. 4. Stop chasing people. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that not everyone is meant to stay. Some people leave. Some misunderstand you. Some betray you. Some only value you when you are useful. And chasing them only drains your soul. Stoicism teaches acceptance. Not passive weakness, but emotional maturity. You cannot force loyalty. You cannot force love. You cannot force respect. But you can control your response. There's a story about a musician who spent years trying to impress people who never supported him. Every performance felt like a test. Every criticism crushed him. One day, an older pianist gave him advice. He said, "Play the music because you love it, not because you need applause." At first, the musician didn't understand. But over time, he stopped performing for approval. He focused on mastering his craft. Ironically, that's when people began respecting him more. Why? Because confidence is attractive. Desperation is not. When you constantly chase people, you communicate scarcity. You tell the world, "My peace depends on your attention." But when you focus on yourself, your energy changes. You become calmer, more grounded, more magnetic. And the funny thing is, people often value you more when they realize you no longer need their validation. The Stoics understood this deeply. Your value does not decrease because someone failed to recognize it. Remember that. 5. Building inner peace. Most people are searching for peace in the wrong places. They think peace comes from money, relationships, status, recognition. But external things are unstable. They can disappear overnight. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes from within. Imagine carrying a candle through a violent storm. If the flame depends entirely on external conditions, it will constantly go out. But what if you learn to protect the flame? What if your inner state became stronger than your environment? There was once a man who lost his job unexpectedly. At first, he panicked. He blamed life. He blamed people. He blamed fate. But after weeks of anger, he realized something. Complaining was not changing anything. So he began waking up early. He exercised. He learned new skills. He read books on discipline and philosophy. Months later, he started a business that completely changed his life. Years afterward, he admitted something surprising. Losing my job was the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because adversity forced him to discover his inner strength. That's Stoicism. The Stoic does not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The Stoic asks, "What can this teach me?" And that mindset changes everything. When you focus on yourself, even pain becomes useful. 6. Discipline creates freedom. Many people think freedom means doing whatever you want. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Without discipline, your emotions control you. Your impulses control you. Your habits control you. Real freedom comes from self-mastery. There's a story about two friends. One lived carelessly. He wasted money, ignored responsibilities, and chased pleasure every day. The other followed discipline. He worked consistently. He trained his body. He managed his time wisely. At first, the careless friend seemed happier. Life looked easier for him. But years later, everything changed. The disciplined friend built stability, confidence, health, and peace. The careless friend became trapped by bad habits and regret. The difference was simple. One sacrificed comfort for growth. The other sacrificed growth for comfort. Stoicism teaches delayed gratification. The ability to suffer temporarily for long-term strength. When you focus on yourself, discipline stops feeling like punishment. It becomes self-respect. Every workout becomes a declaration. Every focused hour becomes proof. Every small improvement becomes a brick in the foundation of your future. And over time, those small actions create an extraordinary life. 7. The danger of comparison. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy your peace. Because no matter how successful you become, there will always be someone richer, smarter, younger, stronger, or more famous. If your happiness depends on being ahead of others, you will never rest. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. A philosopher once saw a wealthy man complaining endlessly. Despite having luxury, the man felt miserable because another businessman had even more. The philosopher laughed softly and said, "Your suffering does not come from poverty. It comes from comparison." That's the trap. Comparison blinds you to your own blessings. There's a young athlete who constantly compared himself to professional champions online. Instead of feeling inspired, he felt defeated. One day, his coach told him, "Stop trying to become someone else. Become a better version of yourself." That advice changed his mindset. Instead of competing with the entire world, he focused on improving daily. And slowly, he transformed. That's the Stoic approach. Your journey is your journey. Your timeline is your timeline. Focus on progress, not competition. Because when you stop comparing yourself to others, you finally gain the clarity to become who you are meant to be. 8. Learn to enjoy solitude. Many people are terrified of being alone. Not because solitude is painful, but because silence reveals what distractions we're hiding. Stoicism teaches that solitude is not loneliness. It is an opportunity. An opportunity to think, to reflect, to grow. There's a story about a king who constantly surrounded himself with entertainment. Music, parties, noise. One day, an old sage asked him, "When was the last time you sat quietly with your own thoughts?" The king had no answer. So the sage challenged him to spend one day alone without distractions. At first, the king felt restless. But gradually, he noticed something. Beneath all the noise was a mind exhausted by constant stimulation. That day changed him. Modern life keeps people distracted because distraction prevents self-awareness. But growth requires reflection. When you spend time alone, you begin understanding yourself. Your fears, your habits, your desires, your weaknesses. And once you understand yourself, you can improve yourself. The Stoics valued solitude because it strengthened the mind. A person who can sit peacefully alone is difficult to manipulate. Why? Because they no longer depend on constant external stimulation to feel whole. That is real power. 9. Let go of what you cannot control. This may be the most important Stoic lesson of all. Some things are within your control. Some things are not. Your effort, within your control. Your mindset. Within your control. Your actions. Within your control. But other people's opinions. Not in your control. The past. Not in your control. Unexpected events. Not in your control. Most suffering comes from trying to control what cannot be controlled. There was once a sailor caught in a violent storm. He panicked and screamed at the waves. He cursed the wind. An older sailor remained calm. The younger man shouted, "How can you stay calm right now?" The old sailor replied, "I cannot control the storm. I can only control how I sail through it." That is Stoicism in one sentence. Life becomes lighter when you stop fighting reality. Acceptance is not surrender. It is wisdom. When you focus on yourself, you stop wasting energy resisting what already exists. You redirect that energy toward action, growth, resilience. And that changes everything. 10. Your mind becomes your strongest ally. Most people live with an uncontrolled mind. Their emotions decide their actions. Their anger controls their words. Their fears control their decisions. Stoicism teaches mental discipline. Because your mind can either be your prison, or your greatest weapon. There was a soldier who faced countless battles. People admired his courage. One day, someone asked him, "What is the secret to your bravery?" He answered, "I trained my mind before I trained my body." That is profound. A strong body without a strong mind eventually collapses. When difficulties appear, the untrained mind panics. But the disciplined mind adapts. That's why Stoics practiced reflection daily. They examined their thoughts. They challenged destructive emotions. They trained themselves to remain calm under pressure. And you can do the same. The next time life frustrates you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this within my control? That single question can save you from countless regrets. Because the strongest people are not those who never feel emotion. They are those who refuse to become slaves to emotion. 11. Success looks different when you heal. At some point, your definition of success changes. You stop chasing attention. You stop trying to prove yourself. You stop measuring your value through other people's approval. Instead, success becomes peace, discipline, health, freedom, purpose. There's a story about a businessman who spent decades building wealth. He finally became rich. But despite his success, he felt empty. One evening, he visited his childhood village. He saw an old teacher sitting peacefully outside a small home. The teacher had little money. No fame. No luxury. Yet he radiated peace. The businessman asked, "How are you happier than I am?" The teacher smiled. "Because I learned to enjoy my life while you were busy trying to impress the world." That realization shattered him. And maybe many people today need the same realization. Because what is the point of success if your mind is constantly anxious? What is the point of status if you cannot sleep peacefully? Stoicism teaches balance. Build your ambitions. Work hard. Achieve greatness. But never lose yourself in the process. 12. Become the person you admire. Many people spend years searching for role models. But eventually, the goal should be this. Become someone you respect. Become someone your younger self would admire. There was once a boy who idolized strong, disciplined men. He watched motivational videos constantly. He admired warriors, athletes, leaders. But his own life remained unchanged. One day, his grandfather told him, "Stop admiring strength from a distance. Build it within yourself." Those words stayed with him forever. And slowly, he changed his habits. He became disciplined, reliable, focused. Years later, people began admiring him the same way he once admired others. That's how transformation happens. Not overnight, but decision by decision. When you focus on yourself, you stop waiting for inspiration. You become the example. And that is one of the most powerful feelings in the world. 13. Pain can become your teacher. Nobody escapes pain. Loss, failure, rejection, disappointment. These are part of life. But Stoicism teaches that pain does not have to destroy you. It can strengthen you. There was once a sculptor working on a giant block of stone. A child watching nearby asked, "How do you create something beautiful from such a hard rock?" The sculptor replied, "I remove everything that doesn't belong." Pain often works the same way. It removes illusions. It removes arrogance. It removes weakness. Some of the strongest people you will ever meet were shaped by hardship. Not because suffering is magical, but because they refuse to waste it. When life hurts you, you have two choices. Become bitter, or become wiser. Stoicism teaches wisdom. Every setback contains a lesson. Every hardship contains an opportunity for growth. And when you focus on yourself, even your darkest moments can become fuel for transformation. 14. Protect your energy. Not every battle deserves your attention. This is something emotionally mature people understand deeply. Some arguments are pointless. Some people thrive on negativity. Some environments drain your spirit. The Stoics believed peace should be protected carefully. There's a story about a monk walking peacefully through a crowded village. A man began insulting him loudly. But the monk simply smiled and kept walking. Someone asked, "Why didn't you react?" The monk answered, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse it, who keeps the gift?" The answer is simple. The person offering it. Not every insult deserves acceptance. Not every opinion deserves emotional investment. When you focus on yourself, you become selective with your energy. You stop engaging in unnecessary drama. You stop trying to win every argument. You stop giving your peace away so easily. And life becomes much calmer. Remember this. Protecting your peace is not weakness. It is wisdom. 15. Everything changes when you change. Most people wait for life to improve before improving themselves. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Change yourself first. Because when your mindset changes, your experience of life changes. There's a story about two prisoners looking through the same bars. One saw mud. The other saw stars. Same situation. Different perspective. Perspective shapes reality. When you focus on yourself, you become more disciplined. You become calmer. You become more confident. And suddenly, opportunities appear where you once saw obstacles. People respond differently to you. Your decisions improve. Your habits improve. Your relationships improve. Not because the world magically changed overnight, but because you changed. The Stoics understood that inner transformation creates external transformation. Your thoughts influence your actions. Your actions influence your habits. Your habits shape your destiny. So if you want a different life, begin with a different mind. Conclusion: watch everything fall into place. At the beginning of this video, I told you something important. The moment you focus on yourself, everything changes. Now you understand why. Because when you stop chasing approval, you gain confidence. When you stop comparing yourself, you gain peace. When you stop wasting energy on things you cannot control, you gain clarity. And when you finally commit to self-mastery, your life begins transforming from the inside out. Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming stronger than your emotions. It is about becoming disciplined in a distracted world. Calm in a chaotic world. Focused in a noisy world. And most importantly, it is about building a life that no longer depends on external validation. So from this day forward, focus on your growth. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your peace. And slowly, quietly, powerfully, watch everything fall into place. If this video spoke to you, subscribe to Wisdom Without Noise for more powerful Stoic wisdom, mindset lessons, and life-changing philosophy. And remember, the greatest investment you will ever make is in yourself.